Hello, my name's Dave, and we're on a solo backpacking trip in the Allegheny National Forest. It's a little bit of a special trip, and we'll talk about that later. But for right now, we got to go find a big green mossy rock. It's the beginning of autumn here in western Pennsylvania. The leaves are changing fast and falling even faster. I've been wanting to document this section of the North Country Trail here in the Allegheny National Forest since I started my YouTube journey. This section of trail mended a broken heart, acquired a moment of zen, and turned the final pages of what would be my father's life. There is no grand vista, no cascading waterfall, no babbling brook. If you were to ask me why I backpack, well, there's lots of reasons. This is one of them. It's the walk amongst the ancient trees in the native forest. It's old medicine. What's up, little buddy? So we're leaving the Time. That's the scenic area. So the North Country Trail goes that way. Twin Lakes goes that way. And then there's another side trail. And that goes this way. So you can see the white diamond on that tree. That's the Twin Lakes. This may be the old North Country Trail down that way, or it's an old service road. But if Bigfoot's in Pennsylvania, that's where he's at. That really sucks. So there's people at the camping spot that I wanted to use, and they must have come in. Well, they definitely came in from the road, which isn't that far away, but there is a shelter that I guess I'm going to be sleeping at tonight. Man, does that suck! I wanted to really show you guys that spot, so I guess we'll have to come back at another time. To show you, it's Rock City. It's a really, really cool camping spot. I wasn't expecting anyone to be there. It's not used that much. So, yeah, I think it's another. Oh man, so I just added a few more miles to my trip. And yeah, that sucks. It's all good. Yeah, so I'll end up. I'll have to show you guys that on another trip. I think I'm going to bring somebody up here in the near future anyway. So maybe we'll just come up from down below and maybe on a weekday or something. I can't believe it. That spot was hardly ever used before. But it looks like I can tell there's a little bit more worn than what it once was. So yeah, well, I guess we're in a shelter tonight. Oh well. Some more water right there. Oh man. So here's clearly this is an orphaned well. I'm not sure when it was found or when. It looks like they did something to it. In the logbook, April 5th, 2021, like 20 miles out and back from 666, 420 Blaze It. This is where the eagle lands. Hell yeah, brother. So I've been saving this one piece of bud, some garlic crusher. It's down at the bottom. It's a piece right there. And yeah. I never knew how much the being outside and in the woods and backpacking helped with my mental wellness. And I think being outside, I mean, it's you know, if you're going through some bad times or some mental health issues, sometimes just getting outside's going to be better than any pill that you can take. You know, and I never realized how much it meant to me until I was unable to do it as much as I'd like to, or didn't have that regular basis. And as I look back in my life, the worst of it all was when I wasn't going into the woods, and those times in my life that I wasn't doing that, and now, you know, I notice it much more, how it's affected me throughout my life, being in the woods. And like I said, I almost every day until I was 20 years old, I was in the woods. And if that wouldn't have happened, who knows where I would have been at and what I would have been up to. And then I really noticed it when my father got sick and I wasn't able to get out that much, and the trips were very short. You know, 2.5-3 hour drive, mostly all night hiking for the last 3 years of his life. I couldn't leave the house for all that long at all. 16 hours tops. And so it's hard to get a backpacking trip done in 12 hours. You know, you got a 3-hour ride each way, and then, you know, a 2-hour night hike into the woods, and then, you know, you're up all night, and they were further spaced apart than normal. I mean, summertime I don't do a whole lot of backpacking, but I'm got other things to relieve that mental anguish, music and psychedelia and other, you know, the other things that kind of help me along in life. But I think it's really important that people know that, you know, just going outside, you don't have to go backpacking or anything like that. Just getting into the woods. And this particular section has always meant a lot to me, and it's got me through some really hard times when I look back at things in life. And you know, the North Country Trail has, you know, taught me a lot for certain. And that particular section, there's no vistas, there's no little stream, there's nothing really to look at. Most of the forest, like, it's only 40 years old, so it's pretty young, but you still can feel how old the area is. And even walking through today, you know, the last time was almost 2 years ago, almost to the date. My father would have died Halloween, and I came up. I wanted to do a video on the 100-year anniversary, and I just ended up not doing a video, and, you know, coming to some peace with what was going to happen. And he died Halloween, so yeah, so about 2 years, and I didn't come down this far. I just got too involved with hiking slow, and I had to turn around. Like I said, I had to get back. I was just up for a day hike. But in the times of trouble, the trail for me has always helped out a whole lot. And I find myself to be a pretty happy person. I think it's a lot of it is because I spend so much time in the woods. But it's, a lot of people don't. And, me coming down here complaining about somebody being in my spot and the overcrowding in the national forests and things of that nature. But, I'm glad people are getting out. The more people that do, the more, work that'll get done on the trails because they'll get into it, and the more, the happier people will be and the less grumpy they'll be. But getting into the woods helps the mental health out, and that's, one of the reasons I backpack. And I wouldn't have said that in 2020. That wouldn't even have been on the list. And but hindsight, like I said, looking back in life, like the times that I was a bastard or being miserable, and the outdoors weren't there for me, or I wasn't using them like I should have been, and I'm thankful that I do have the opportunity and the means that I can do this, because our mental health means a lot, and we all go through stuff. I'm not saying a walk in the woods will fix it all, but it'll fix a good bit of it. And a nice solo backpacking trip will fix a little bit more. It's just. But that's pretty much the way I wanted to do this trail this time. It's like I said, it's you walk through that virgin timber and you see all them big trees, and I didn't show a bunch of them. I showed you a few, and then you come out to that rock city, and it's something special. I can't believe there's someone there, but it's like I said, it's all good. It's a really cool campsite, and I might come back up next weekend to maybe just do a quick little video, or maybe take someone up there. We'll come down from the road down here, because I think it's only like 3 miles from the road, maybe. I might be wrong on that. I think I added about a mile, maybe, from here to where I started the Fox's Dam. But I encourage you, get out. This is part of the reason I backpack. There's many reasons, and like I said, I'd have never told anybody I'd get out to, a reset or a mental health check. But it works it works so well, And like I said, when my father was dying, it was it got me through it, man. Like, it got me through it. Even if it was just them little 12-hour trips, 16-hour trips, here and there. I mean, it kind of slowed things down for me and let my mind just stop, and wasn't doing a whole lot of miles. But just being by the campfire and smoking one, and not hearing anybody or seeing anybody for the most part. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons I backpack. I'm not gonna have too much work to do at the camp. There's wood everywhere, and I have my little saw with me, and so I don't even have to set up a tent. That's nice, I guess. I was kind of hoping to be sleeping in a tent. Instead, I'm gonna have to I ain't seen no mice here. I don't know how much this shelter gets used. They have 10 of them now in the Allegheny National Forest. They built a whole bunch in 2020 and 2021. I think like 9 of them. And so like you can and they're about 10 miles apart from each other. So, you know, you could do the North Country Trail now through the National Forest and just stay in the shelters if you wanted to. I haven't been to all of them. Probably by the time, well, next year when I do the Allegheny 100, I'll see the other ones I haven't seen yet. I think there's only 2 that I haven't seen. Alrighty, that's rolled up, and I'm gonna go ahead and it's starting to get dark. I hope this is all coming through, and then get a little fire going. Wakey bakey. Ah, man. It's pretty late. It's like 8:30. I woke up at like 8 o'clock. I slept really good. Even though it was in a shelter. No mice. That's really good. But yeah, so this trip was nice, long needed. It's been 3 weeks since I've been out, and I need that mental health reset. And it's just one of the reasons I backpack, and I just kind of wanted to show you the spot that helps me out the most whenever I need that mental health fix part of backpacking. It's not always that way, and but you know, I think we all should have our own little spot too. Kind of wish I wasn't sleeping in the shelter, but it's okay. And the leaves they're changing fast. They're falling fast. We're not gonna get too much, I don't think. But I'm gonna finish smoking this coffee and drinking this bowl, and I'll show you around the campsite real fast, and then pack up and get moving. So here's the shelter. My sleep system. It's the Thermarest insulated version. Got my 30-degree Feathers Friends bag out, and then that's just my puffy that I used as a pillow last night. In my electronics bag, I carried a bear horn for the first time in over a year. I don't know, I just seen it there. I was like, oh, maybe I should carry that, so I carried it. And then my bag, and that's pretty much everything. That is everything I carry. A pair of scissors. Then over here's the table. Fire pit. Used that bottle of water, and I didn't have a very big fire last night. It's all these leaves, and it's all super dry, so I just wanted a small little fire. Then just to give you a quick tip, this is one of them Attack bear bags, and what I did was I made this thing inside out, And then I took it, yeah, I had to take a pair of pliers and pull the corners in. But once I pulled the corners in, it'll stand on its own now. I don't know. I think that'll last a while. This stuff's pretty thick. I mean, it'll eventually kind of wear up, but for the moment, it's just nice that I can make it stand. So there's the coffee situation, which is probably weighs as much as everything else. Did bring the grinder in, my little tripod. And there is, of course, water down here. I don't know if it's flowing or not. I didn't walk down, but yeah, I'd say that the leaves are in full swing here in Allegheny National Forest. Yeah, so that's that. I'll have to show you that rock city another time. It kind of bums me out. Mental health trip, I get bummed out. But anyways, so we'll see you guys on the next trip.